everybody, it's Pupmeister, and today we're going to be looking at how to enchant and use the tridents. And I just got a couple tridents from the super easy trident farm behind me reaching into the sky. And I will leave a link at the end of this video on how to create that trident farm. But until then, let's take a look at what we have today. Okay, so when you get the tridents, they're probably going to be heavily damaged, as you see here, because we do everything in survival. So the first thing you want to put on the tridents are unbreaking and mending. Now, why do I have it set up like this? Because there are basically two different paths you can take with a trident, which is very unique because pretty much everything else you can just enchant as you wish. However, when it comes to the tridents, you either have to go the Riptide side or the channeling side, because you cannot put Riptide and channeling on the same trident. And you can't put loyalty on with Riptide either, but that's just kind of because of how it works, and I'll get into that. It's mostly Riptide or channeling. So the first thing you want to do, unbreaking, mending, these are obviously two regular enchantments. The unbreaking will keep it from breaking as quickly, for lack of a better description. And mending, of course, I'm sure you're aware, will heal or repair the product from experience that you get, as long as you're holding it. So the first step in this case, I mean, look, I only have 8 durability of 250 left. So this one's almost completely toast. And this one's at 72, so that's not too bad. But when it comes to that low, you probably don't want to even use it on things. But our first thing we should do is put on the unbreaking and the mending, and then increase the durability on these guys before we continue, because we don't want them to fade away. So let's go through this side. This is the Riptide side. And why do I have this book in the middle, Impaling? Because Impaling could go on either side. And that's why I put it in the middle. Being in survival, I've had a hard time getting Impaling. And it's going to end up going on this one here, but it could go on either. So back to the Riptide. There is Riptide 1, 2, and 3. And what Riptide does is it basically allows you to travel with the trident. So if you are underwater and you use it, it will propel you forward quickly. If you aim towards the sky, it will propel you into the sky. So it's a lot faster way to travel, especially if it's earlier in the game. And as you know, or as you may know, I've got rivers all around me here. You can kind of see them in the background here. It makes it so much easier to travel quickly and further distances using the Riptide Trident, if you don't have something like an Elytra already. Impaling, I'll go through this because it could go on this one. And impaling is kind of like sharpness for a sword, except it only works on water creatures or sea creatures. So you only get the bonus when you are fighting something in the water, like a drown or a guardian or a deadly fish, something like that. It's not, unless you're in the water a lot, it's not that useful because it will not work on any land mobs like creepers or zombies, skeletons, anything like that. And that's mostly what you're fighting. So impaling is, maybe a little extra bonus to have on your trident, but how often are you going to use it? And the only way it'll work with the Riptide, because you cannot throw a trident when you use Riptide. You can only propel forward. So if you propel forward into something, you will damage it. And that's where the impaling would come in handy here. And I will show you how that works shortly. Of course, I will repair these before I show you. You don't need to watch me repairing them, but I'll basically be going to my zombie XP farm, kill a whole bunch, and then quickly with my sword, my looting 3 sword and sharpness 5 sword, and then as the experience starts coming at me, I'll switch to the trident, and all the XP will go into the trident instead, because you do have to be holding it. So that is the Riptide. And now I'm going to show you how to use it here, and then get back to the channeling. Okay, we're back from my zombie XP farm, and by the way, there will be a link to that at the end of this video as well, if you so desire. But as you can see, I repaired both tridents, and I even had enough to put impaling 4 on the channeling one. So let's take a look at how the Riptide works. So for Riptide, you have to be in the water. It will not work from land. And basically, you right-click on your mouse, and you can see how it kind of slowly wound back. And then when you release, it throws you forward. So you can kind of see I was over there, now I'm here, and once again, and let's try this one more time. There you go. So that's Riptide as far as the air is concerned. However, it works even better with an elytra. And as you can tell, I have my elytra on. So usually you have to use fireworks to get off the ground. But if you aim up into the sky and then double click, look at that. Now you're soaring around. So with a combo of the Riptide, Trident, and your Elytra, as long as you have water nearby, you won't need fireworks anymore. And if you don't need fireworks anymore, your Elytra won't get damaged as quickly either. It's a great combination with an Elytra. And the only other thing I want to show you is underwater, because it will, see, propel you forward just like that. And if you go into something, you will do it damage just like that. Just trying to get away. You will not get away. There you go. So you can kill things as well. Now remember, my Riptide doesn't have impaling on it, but of course that's enough for a fish. So it's a great fishing tool if you need to go fishing, either standing in the water or swimming around in the water. Great fishing tool. And it just kind of moves you forward just like that. And you can keep killing fish and stuff like that, like I showed you. So that is the benefit of the Riptide. You probably don't want to be using it underwater because, you know, meh. But for moving you forward, if you don't have an Elytra or something like that, you might be moving forward a lot faster with this than you would, say, in a boat or something like that. Now, the one other thing I want to warn you about is when you go up into the sky or you're jumping, Make sure you land in the water, because if you don't, you'll take fall damage. Unless, of course, you have something like Feather Falling 4. But here, I'll show you. I will, on purpose. There we go. See? So you can see I actually took damage. Now, because I'm full food and I have Feather Falling 4, it pretty much healed it. However, warning. If you don't have really good armor and you don't have Feather Falling 4 and all that kind of stuff, when you use this, you want to make sure you're landing in the water or you will take fall damage. And just as an aside, it can also help you go up water elevators faster. Now, this one doesn't have the soul sand at the bottom to give you that extra lift, but if you're going up waterfalls or anything like that, the Riptide comes in handy there as well. Now, when it's raining, you can also use the Trident to fly. You really have to be quick on the draw, or you'll drop. But you can fly for a while if you are in the rain, as you can see. And when you're flying in the rain with an Elytra, it is an awesome combination. I mean, look how far up the Trident throws you when it's raining and you have an Elytra. Here, we'll try to dive. Way up high. Even flying forward with an Elytra and the Trident. Look how quick. Rain might just become your new best friend. All right, so back to the other one. So again, breaking and mending, same thing. Always put those on a Trident. And then the next one is channeling. And channeling, if you are in a storm with lightning, you can point it at a mob and attack it, and it will bring the lightning down onto the mob. So that is a great way to create charged creepers as well. There aren't a ton of lightning storms, unfortunately, but when there are, this could be a really cool thing to have. And I may be doing a video in the future on how to collect a whole bunch of mob heads, and that is using this Trident. So keep an eye out for that. And loyalty is all about when you throw this Trident and attack something with it, loyalty, instead of having to go get it, loyalty will bring it back. And of course, you can see there's a loyalty 1, 2, and 3. And basically, the loyalty level is how quickly it will come back to you. So loyalty 1 will take a moment to kind of get charged and then head back to you. Loyalty 2 faster, loyalty 3 the fastest. And then, of course, impaling, which can also go on this one. We covered that. The only thing I didn't mention is that impaling does go up to level 5. And I have a level 4 here. Okay, so let's show you how this Trident works. Okay, here we are to take a look at our powerful trident here, the channeling, loyalty 3, impaling 4. Basically, you just hold it back like this with your right and you let go. And see how it came back? That's the loyalty there. And we can do it again. There we go. And we might as well heal it because we have mending on it now. Sure, I'll take a pork chop. Why not? And that is how to use it to throw things. And it's a lot easier than having to go get it. And the reason loyalty won't go on the Riptide is because it won't even allow you to throw it. So what's the point of loyalty on a trident you can't throw? There is no point. So you can toss it, look how far it goes, and it'll come back. See? That went quite a distance and it still comes back. Loyalty 3 is really what you want. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting longer than you need to in order to get your trident back. Now, as far as the channeling is concerned, I'm going to have to wait for a thunderstorm, lightning storm. We finally have a thunderstorm going on here, so I can show you. Oh, of course, have to get the right trident in here. See, check that out. And if you hit a creeper, you get a charged creeper going on, which you probably don't want to have to deal with. So you hit them twice. But that is how the channeling works when there is a thunderstorm. And that is our video today on tridents and how to enchant them and what they do. So thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great day. Don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you soon. Bye for now.